Welcome back. I'm really excited to share this section with you. We'll start by looking at some of the skills needed in the data field today. We'll look at what happens after you land a data position and what to expect in those first few weeks on the job. We'll investigate some of the roles within the data professions and take a closer look at the general categories that you'll encounter. Then, we'll explore the importance of networking and building relationships within an organization. We'll also look at the responsibilities of different data professionals. So let's get started. See you in the next video. All data professionals share a love of data and a desire to solve problems. While wearing their analytics hat, data professionals lay out the story that they're tempted to tell, and then they poke it from several angles with follow-up investigations to see if it holds water before bringing it to their decision makers. In doing so, they rely on their programming and investigative skills to guide others towards informed decisions. Data professionals also combine a knowledge about how to do practical tasks with an awareness of what makes communication and collaboration successful. Later, we'll dig deeper into the elements of communication and discuss the ways communication enhances and structures your work as a data professional. For now, let's examine some skills and attributes that are applicable across data-driven careers. Working in data analytics requires a mix of business sense and knowledge in gathering, manipulating, and analyzing data. Our goal is to prepare you to develop the competencies needed to succeed. Let's start by discussing some interpersonal skills. Often, these are referred to as people skills. They focus on communicating and building relationships. Interpersonal skills are critical. In this field, there's a high degree of interaction between stakeholders. This is especially relevant now with team members often working collaboratively across the globe. Very often, work conversations are the starting point and the fuel that drives projects. And because of the cyclical processes within data analysis, communication is always ongoing. Another important skill is active listening. This means allowing team members, bosses, and other collaborative stakeholders to share their own points of view before offering responses so that each exchange improves mutual understanding. You can actually practice active listening. Next time you speak with someone, put extra effort into listening beyond their words. Focus on what they're trying to communicate. Your listening and communication skills will play a huge role in helping you capture effective insights and informed decisions. We'll take a closer look at communication a little later in this course. There are other things you'll need to consider. As a data professional, you'll search for information hidden within large amounts of data by applying critical thinking skills. Along the way, you'll investigate the connections between a variety of different data sources as you search for trends and indicators. Think of yourself as a data detective. Project data can come directly from your organization or from other sources. You might be lucky and receive a well-formatted spreadsheet or database, but quite often you will need to prepare the data to get started. This process is known as data cleaning. This is where the data is reorganized and reformatted. The goal is to remove anything that could create an error during analysis. This process includes tagging and consolidating duplicates, irrelevant entries, structural errors, and empty space. Once you have everything in the proper format, you can then filter out unwanted material. Now your data is ready to be analyzed. It's time to look for trends and tendencies. Often it's very helpful to render the data visually to reveal additional insights through charts, dashboards, and reports. Graphic tools will be very useful in identifying patterns, as well as in sharing information with others. You will explore this in greater detail later and have opportunities to practice compiling visualizations too. You'll also learn about more advanced skills like building models and machine learning algorithms. These tools will help you and other data professionals assess information accuracy, analyze specific data segments, and predict future business outcomes. Your hard work will assist leaders and other decision makers in your company, providing them access to a rich variety of perspectives on different sets of information. With demand for data analytics increasing across all types of companies and businesses, you will likely find opportunities in an industry that you are personally interested in. Next, we'll take a look at working in the data field.
My name is Cliff, and I'm a workforce planning and people analytics lead at Google. I use data to help our employees be more productive, more connected, and just overall improve their well-being. I also use data to improve our HR practices and focus on our hybrid work policies as well as our location strategy. I've always been interested in issues of workforce development, people strategy, human resources, but I didn't anticipate what a central role analytics would play in my work and how much I would come to love analytics. One of the things that has helped me develop a confident voice in this space has just been an understanding that we work in teams, we work cross-functionally, and I don't need to bring all of the solutions to a problem, right? I'll bring a perspective on how we can use data to solve this problem, but I'm working with people who also bring a wealth of skills and looking at it really as a partnership where it's really about leveraging the best of everyone on the team. That's helped me bring a lot of confidence to the work. My go-to strategy for communications when working with partners is to first set up a few low-stakes meetings just to understand what their broader business goals are. I'm not even thinking about the specific project we're working on, but more broadly, how do they define success? That helps me understand where the work that we're doing fits into the context of their bigger picture. The second thing I do from a communication standpoint is to try to play back what I think I heard somebody say, sort of to repeat it back to them, whether it's my understanding of their question or the output that they're trying to see from the data, just to test if I actually really understand their goals. When I'm working with somebody and I feel we're not getting to the root of a question or a problem, what I find is really helpful is laying out from a data perspective a set of different options or possibilities for them and engaging in a conversation around which of those really resonate for them. And so it's finding a balance between like listening and telling as a way to unlock some ideas that they might not have thought about themselves.
You can learn a lot about a career by looking at job postings. If you've searched for opportunities in the data space, you may have noticed different data-related job titles with similar responsibilities, or postings with similar titles listing different responsibilities. Here's an example. At one company, the role of data analyst will focus on using statistics and models to craft insights that inform business decisions. Another job with the same title at a different company may focus on optimizing the tools and products that automate analytical processes. One reason for these inconsistencies is that data tasks and responsibilities are dependent on an organization's data, team structure, and how they make use of insights and analytics. As such, some organizations choose to be very specific with responsibilities. Others leave job tasks quite broad in scope. That's why this program refers to the field as a career space. With that said, when you're comparing positions that have similar titles, I encourage you to classify them based on the skills used in their day-to-day activities. Two of the most common titles are data analyst and data scientist. These can cover a wide range of job responsibilities, many of which you'll gain experience with in this program. Traditionally, a data scientist was expected to be a 3-in-1 expert in data analytics, statistics, and machine learning. But not all employers use these conventions when writing their job descriptions. Generally, any role that includes analytics expects candidates to be able to function as technically skilled social scientists, looking for patterns and identifying trends within big data sets. Also, they develop new inquiries and questions as they uncover the stories inside their data. Their hard work can help steer a company's future actions and guide decision-making. They allow their organizations to keep a finger on the pulse of what's going on in the business, interpreting and translating key information into visualizations such as graphs and charts, allowing every stakeholder to understand their findings. At times, they may be tasked with creating computer code and models to recognize patterns in the data and make predictions. When you investigate job postings, you'll encounter other titles with similar responsibilities. For example, junior data scientist entry level, associate data scientist, or data science associate. All of these roles include a mix of technical and strategic skills to help others make informed decisions. In your career, you might encounter other professionals in roles that use data and analytical skills. Some of these may overlap with the skills you will learn, but these roles are specific to certain tasks or are supervisory positions. Let's take a look at a few. Data scientists depend on systems within their companies to collect, organize, and convert raw data. Designing and maintaining these processes are some of the most important responsibilities of a data engineer. Their goal is to make data accessible so that it can be used for analysis. They also ensure that the company's data ecosystem is healthy and produces reliable results. These positions are highly technical and typically deal with the infrastructure for data, usually across an entire enterprise. You also need to have the ability to get data before it even makes sense to talk about data analysis. Most of the technical work leading up to the birthing of the data may comfortably be called data engineering, and everything done once some data have arrived is data science. Similar to how a data engineer oversees the data infrastructure, there are data roles that manage all aspects of data analytics projects for a company. Insights managers or analytics team managers often supervise the analytical strategy of the team or of the organization as a whole. As a data analyst, you will likely report to someone working in this capacity. They are often responsible for managing multiple groups of customers and stakeholders, and they're often a hybrid between the data scientist and the decision maker. Since this combination of skills is rare, these positions are often more difficult to fill. This role can have other titles like Analytics Team Director, Head of Data, or Data Science Director. You may encounter another job role in your scan of job postings, Business Intelligence Engineer or Business Analyst. This role is highly strategic, focused on organizing information and making it accessible. BI analysts synthesize data, build dashboards, and prepare reports to address specific needs for a business or requests from leadership. If you're interested in learning more about business intelligence and its opportunities, I encourage you to look into the Google Business Intelligence Certificate. Now that you have some idea of the roles found within the data analytics career space, we will begin to take a closer look at how data professionals function within their larger organizations. Compared with many other professions, the data career space is relatively young. This application of data-driven work in organizations has grown exponentially in the last several decades, which means there are many different opportunities and much job security for you in the future. Now that organizations have the technical capacity to take on their own data-focused work, they're looking for people like you with the right skills to fill these jobs. Traditionally, companies have filled jobs in the data career space with those from computer engineering backgrounds or from statistics. Increasingly, there's been a shift towards de-emphasizing engineering and instead promoting analytical skills. These skills can be learned in different forums, like the program that you're currently enrolled in. Let's look at a scenario. Let's say that an enthusiastic and enterprising person, that's you, is starting a new position at a company as a data professional. Your company is a recognized leader in its industry. Its workforce spans the globe, and you are its newest member. It's your first day on the job, and you are ready to start working. During your orientation, your company grants you systems access and onboarding documentation. You're starting to have a clearer picture of how information is generally shared with employees. You still have many questions about the responsibilities of the position. Later, you watch a video from the quarterly review meeting led by a company executive. Watching the presentation, you get insight into the quarterly budget, recent client interactions, and some general information on an upcoming project. You now have a broad understanding of the company. At this point, you still lack details about your specific responsibilities. During your first week, you're invited to a virtual meeting of the data professionals involved on the project that you've been assigned to. As each data professional outlines their job responsibilities, you take note of the differences among them. After each participant speaks, you begin to realize that not all data tasks are universal, and that many data professionals end up adapting to meet the needs of the current project and the needs of the data. When you're new to a job, I would discourage you from over-specializing immediately. Instead, taking on a variety of tasks within a project is a great way for newer data professionals to continue developing their skill set. As a member of a larger group of data professionals, you're able to observe and learn from your team members. Once the analytical process is complete, the results of the project will need to be shared, allowing everyone in the organization to have access to the information. This includes building user-friendly interfaces and communicating the findings to different departments. Working for a large company means that there is a good chance that you will be dealing with vast amounts of information. This will require more work than a single data professional can reasonably provide. Because of this, you might encounter scenarios where organizations have created teams of data professionals. Throughout the rest of this section, you'll take a closer look at how complex organizations are incorporating data professionals through data teams and the division of responsibilities within these teams.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I lead teams focused on building AI responsibly here at Google. I've served in the United States Army, worked as a consultant, and have worked as a program manager in privacy and machine learning fairness. Data and having a rich understanding of data has always been an important part of my job. Today, we have more data available to us than ever before, and it's important to be able to derive insights to help decision makers make the best possible decisions. I'm so glad you're here, and I really hope this program is giving you all kinds of new possibilities to think about. You've already learned so much. We've covered the basics of data-driven fields and looked at career roles, how data professionals are being used by different industries, and how those in the field can make a valuable contribution. You're gaining a vast range of knowledge and skills, which is going to be extremely valuable as you prepare to join us in the amazing field of data-driven careers. At this point in the program, I encourage you to take some time to reflect on how your experiences so far are setting you up for a great career. And one way to do that is by enhancing your current online presence. In the Google Data Analytics Certificate, we covered numerous job-related materials, including how to create an effective resume and LinkedIn profile. This video is about improving your existing career assets. Those of us who were involved in the Google Data Analysis Certificate always love receiving learner feedback, especially when it has to do with someone else's professional success. I remember one person who took the initiative to refine her LinkedIn profile as soon as she began the program. She noted that she was currently working through her program, and she added to her profile many of the technologies she had become familiar with. Well, not long after, she saw an advertisement for her dream job. Even though she was early on in her DA education, she decided to apply for it. And she got it. The hiring manager told her that the fact that she had familiarity with those data tools really set her apart from other candidates. There are tons of stories just like this one that prove the value of having a compelling and professional LinkedIn presence. So let's get into that now. A professional online presence enables you to better connect with others in the field. You can share ideas, ask questions, or provide links to a useful website or an interesting article in the news. These are great ways to meet other people who are passionate about data-focused jobs. Even if you're already part of the community, strengthening your network makes it even more dynamic. LinkedIn is an amazing way to follow industry trends, learn from thought leaders, and stay engaged with the global data analytics community. And of course, it has job boards and recruiters who are actively looking for data professionals for all sorts of organizations and industries. So it's a good idea to always keep your profile up to date and to be sure to include a professional photo. Beyond that, consider including a link to some of the relevant projects you've done in data analytics, such as the portfolio project you'll work on during this program. As you continue expanding your online presence to represent the work you're doing in data analytics, the connections you make will be an important part of having a truly fulfilling networking experience. Plus, there are also many rewarding in-person networking opportunities, which we'll explore soon. See you then. My name is Tiffany, and I work at Google, and my job is to ensure that our products are fair and inclusive. My first role in data analytics probably harkens back to my time spent in the United States Army. And there I did a lot of work with data, trying to understand which decisions I should make for my soldiers and for my unit, making sure I was making the best data-driven decisions to ensure their safety and well-being. Coming out of the military, I felt a tremendous amount of imposter syndrome. I felt insecure. I was unsure of what I could be good at since I had such a highly specialized job. But I talked to a lot of mentors, a lot of friends that encouraged me and told me about transferable skills. Some of the skills that I gained in the Army were very, very clearly helpful to me in my career today. The one that stands out to me the most is the ability to frame a problem. So the ability to think about what someone needs, the data that you have, and how to connect in the middle, how to frame it out so there's no scope creep, so that you have a very crisp and clear articulation of the problem and a very clear and crisp articulation of that solution set. And I learned that in the military. And I continue to build upon my skill base, continue to go online and read books and shore up that knowledge. And over time, I became more and more confident of what I could accomplish and the things that I could reach for. All of the courses that I took, all of the hard work, all of the imposter syndrome, really all led me to the job, my dream job that I have today. It's important for people that have non-traditional backgrounds or non-traditional paths to get into a certificate program such as this, because we know that education's uneven, opportunities are uneven. I'm one of the first people in my family to go to college, to get an education, and being able to do so has opened up so many doors for me. And so many of you may be in the same situation. If I were to give anyone advice as they're transitioning out of the military and into a data analytics career, I would tell them to use some Google products. So Google has a career translator where you can put your military service, your branch, your job into that translator, and it will spit out transferable skills that you may have that you can place on your resume. I'd encourage you to take the leap of faith and get rid of and shed the imposter syndrome and apply for as many jobs as you can. And finally, I would encourage everyone to try to find someone who works at the company. Try to get that referral. Be bold on LinkedIn. Be bold on other platforms. And just try to make your way into the job that you see yourself in. Recently, you learned about the value of maintaining a professional online presence and connecting with others in the data field. As I noted, there are many professional networking sites, such as LinkedIn, that are well worth your time and involvement. But here's something that many people don't realize. Some of the best opportunities are never actually shared on a networking site. Sometimes there are professional opportunities that are not publicly advertised by the employer. There are lots of reasons why some positions are not posted. Maybe an employer is concerned about revealing details about confidential projects to its competitors through a job posting. Or perhaps the company HR department doesn't have the resources to review a flood of applications. Often a business may choose to use a recruiter instead of posting jobs. So let's start exploring how you can increase your visibility to access more opportunities through building valuable relationships. After all, the more people you connect with professionally, the greater your chances are for being referred. Be sure to follow best-in-class organizations and visionary business leaders on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Interact with them and share their content. If there's a post you like, consider commenting with a response or a thank you. You can also search for data field webinars featuring interesting speakers, and many of these events are free. This is another fascinating way to learn while connecting with peers, colleagues, and experts. And there are also lots of blogs and online communities that focus on data fields. Data and tech companies will often talk about what's new and important from their point of view, but there's a growing community of bloggers and podcasters who offer great perspectives of their own. Now let's move to in-person networking opportunities. The easiest way to find events is by simply searching for data science or data analytics events in your area. You'll likely discover a wide range of engagement opportunities, from more formal conferences and seminars to casual meetups and get-togethers. Nonprofit associations are also wonderful resources, and may offer free or reduced rate memberships for students. In addition to networking, learning from a mentor can positively influence your career and life. As you may know, a mentor is someone who shares knowledge, skills, and experience to help you grow both professionally and personally. Mentors are trusted advisors and valuable resources. The first step in finding a mentor is to determine what you're looking for to narrow down your potential list. Think about any challenges you face or foresee and how to address them in order to advance professionally. Then, consider who can help you grow in these areas, as well as fortify your existing strengths. Share these things openly when you formally ask someone to be your mentor. It's also helpful to note any common experiences. Perhaps you grew up in the same city. Maybe you both worked in the same industry. Your mentor doesn't have to be someone you work with currently. Many people find mentors on LinkedIn, an association mentorship program, or at a mentor matching event. This really taught me the value of mentorship. I also learned that having a successful mentorship experience requires effort and investment in time, whether you're preparing to ask the right questions, internalizing the feedback, or scheduling follow-up sessions. But it's well worth it. Always be open to connecting with new people. You never know where a single conversation will lead. Congrats on your progress so far and on taking meaningful action to advance your career. I wanted to let you know about some of the great career building activities and resources you'll encounter in the rest of this program. In the next course, and those that come after it, you'll have the chance to complete a number of hands-on activities based on data-driven scenarios. They'll let you put what you're learning into practice and help you discuss your skills with hiring managers in a concrete way. Be sure to save your work from these activities. They'll be useful to you as you near the end of the program and start thinking about the next stage of your data-driven career. When you get to the last course in the program, we'll go in depth on preparing for a job search. We'll cover how to find and apply for jobs that interest you. I'll also share some tips to help you prepare for the interview process, so you'll know what to expect going in. You'll learn how to put together an online portfolio that will help you demonstrate your knowledge and experience. You'll also complete a scenario-based project from beginning to end that you can put in your portfolio and use to present your working process to potential employers. With your past working and educational experiences, your career journey will be unique to you. But whatever path you choose, the knowledge and resources you gain from this program will give you a strong start. You've accomplished so much already, and there's so much more to come. Good luck on the next part of your journey. I'm excited to meet up with you again soon.
As you approach the end of this section, let's take a few moments to review some key concepts before moving ahead. We saw that the data career space has experienced amazing growth over the last decade. Future predictions indicate that this should continue. You discovered that all kinds of companies and organizations are looking to drive their future decisions with data, which is creating opportunities for data professionals. Additionally, we saw that innovation is the engine driving this continued growth. You also discovered that data skills and tools are becoming more universal. At the same time, experts foresee a continued specialization of roles within the different fields. We were introduced to artificial intelligence and saw how it has become an important tool for data professionals. We also took a brief look at some of the common roles and responsibilities in today's data professions. While we reflect on the information we've covered so far, please remember that you're not taking these steps of personal and professional growth alone. One of the most beneficial resources available to you is our discussion board. Take advantage of the opportunity to interact with like-minded learners and gain knowledge from their experience. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the skills needed by data professionals, and we'll investigate how larger organizations incorporate data analysis. I'm looking forward to joining you as we continue your journey. I'll see you in the next video.